Hey guys, this is a lesson on describing vectors. Now, vectors are basically it represents directions and magnitudes, whereas a magnitude of a vector is its length. So it's telling us how big the vector is, and the direction with the arrow on tells us which way the vector is pointing. But this is describing vectors, so this is your introduction into vectors from scratch. So, for the first question, a vector starts at 1, 2 and ends at 5, 5. What is the column vector? Now, I've done this one for you, so I can show you what it means. So these are our coordinates, our x and our y. Ignore this for now. So what we're going to look at is it to be in this format. So that is a vector, a column vector. That's what it is. An x is on the top and our y is on the bottom. So for this, we have a line, and our line has got a pointy arrow upwards. So if we look down here and look, going up on our y-axis, because this is our y-axis, it means it's going to be a positive y. So we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we know our y is 3. See? And our x is 1, 2, 3, 4. And that goes there. It's as simple as that. Next one, we have a arrow pointing downwards, which tells us there's going to be a negative, and it's going to be a negative y because it comes from the y-axis. So it's going to be downwards until this point is going to be -1, -2. So we know our column vector y is 2. Let's look at our x. Well, that's a positive, and it's 1, 2, 3. So there's our column vector 3 and -2. Let's go to this one. So we've got a vector starts at 2 and 3 and ends at 2 and 7. What is the column vector? Well, we can see that on the x-axis, it's going up. So that's a positive. If we look here again, it's a positive. So our y is 1, 2, 3, 4. But what you can notice is there isn't anything on the x-axis. So as there's no x-axis to work from, because it's just straight up, you're going to have a 0. So our x is 0. The next one, ignore this one actually. Let's move down to this one. So we have a vector starts at 2 and 5 and ends at 6 and 2. What is the column vector? So our arrow is pointing down. So if we look up, that means it's going to be a negative. So we're going to go, let's have a look. Let's look at our y-axis first, which will go to there. And this is our y, so y and x. Actually, I'll just put our y and x there if it helps anybody out. So let's do down. Let's do our y. So we're going down 1, 2, 3. So we're going down. So it's a -1, -2, -3. So our y is -3. And we're going that way, aren't we? So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So our x is 4. So our column vector is 4 and -3. And then this one is 3, 3, 3 and -1. So if we look at this, we can see once again that we have a no show of an x. There's no x there at all. So we know that's going to be 0. And our y, if you look, the arrow is going down. If we look at our down, that means it's going to be a negative. So we're going down -1, -2, -3, -4. So it's going to be -4. So that is how you do a column vector, how to show a column vector. Chickpeas, you don't generally have these here. So in theory, that won't be there. These won't be there. There'll be no numbers. It would just be squares and the line, and you have to work it out from there. So they're more like the questions you're going to get. This is me showing you what it is from scratch. I think you understand that by now. So I'm just going to show you another way we solve them with the information given. So it's using this formula. So our two sets of coordinates are set out like so. So this is our first set. So it's going to be x1 here and y1. And then the second set of coordinates is going to be x2 and y2. So following this formula here, our x2 is 1 and our x1 is 5. So 1 minus 5. And the other one is y2, which is 1, and y1 is 1. And then 1 minus 5 is 4, and 1 minus 1 is 0. So there's your column vector. But I'm just going to prove that's right with a little bit of proof. And proof is when they give you the answer and you've got to work out how they get the answer. So I'm going to look at this. So I know there's no y-axis here. So that would be 0. X-axis, it's going that way. The arrow is on the x-axis, which gives a negative, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would give you a negative. That's a negative, by the way, sorry. So that would give you -4 because we've gone -1, -2, -3, -4. So the arrows are really important and you need to learn all of these. So I've proved that's right because that matches that. Next one, I've put it into that formula. 6 minus 2, 0 minus -3 gives us a column vector of 4 and 3. Now let's prove it. Let's do it our way. So if we look at this one, we can see that it's going to be how many across? 1, 2, 3, 4 across. So we know our x is going to be 4. And let's go up 1, 2, 3. And our y is going to be 3. So we know that that is 100% correct. And just remember, guys, be careful when there is a negative like that. Don't leave it as a negative because a negative and a negative equals a plus. So that's it. Introduction to vectors. My next video is going to be using the formula I've just shown you in more detail. Go to my website. There's describing vectors video and a worksheet with different questions in this and answers to test yourself. So stay tuned for the next video. Bye-bye.